knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Keep firing, assholes. What's up? It's the Huff. It's another episode of the Huff Uncensored. I said that because I'm wearing that shirt that my wife and kids bought me. It's a dark helmet, and it says, "I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes." What's funny is what I'm wearing this today. It's soft. It's one of those good, soft cotton, whatever. They put it together nicely, right? I'm going to forget about it, and I'm going to go pick up my kids from school, and then, I'm going to get the stink eye from all the parents who curse around their kids, but they just don't want other people to curse around their kids, type of thing. That, and then the teachers are going to, have that look of disappointment when they see me. Oh, there's Mr. DeHuff in his inappropriate shirt. No wonder. Stop it. Don't you dare judge me. Don't you dare be judging me. Dang it. Anyway, a lot to get to in today's show. Cannot freaking wait. It's going to be a fun one today. All the other ones, complete garbage. This one, thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching. And remember, today's show is presented to you by the great people over at Owl Pipe ID, brand new sponsor joining the show today, as well as Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. And if you think you know your stuff, go ahead and get in on Bet Online's $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every single week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the game's over, head on over to their online casino, get in on the game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Go to betonline.ag right now to get in on the action. It's Bet Online. The game starts here. Before we jump into headlines, if you're watching on video, you're going, what in the Sam hell is in DeHuff's hands? Well, it's a sperm. Yes, a sperm. Somebody, I'll tell you this real quick. You know those stress balls that you can get? Relieve your stress. You just do that while you're at work. Well, we went to the Harvest Festival in Thornton over the weekend, and they had a stress ball because you can get stress balls with your logo on it. They're a good little thing to hand out, whatever. It's unique in a sense. Well, this one especially. Well, this is a stress ball, but it's a sperm, and it was handed out by the Colorado Surrogacy Program. Okay, that's cool. It's interesting. The funny thing is, and slightly inappropriate, but ultimately I'm going to lean on funny, is they gave this to my 9-year-old and 11-year-old kids. Along with like a little pamphlet that says, "Let's put a baby in you." I know it's inappropriate, but I think, honestly, I think my wife actually picked up that pamphlet and then told me. She's like, "I think they gave it to him." I think she's lying to me just for comedy's sakes. But it's kind of inappropriate. But that being said, it did start a conversation, and it was a good conversation because it was, what's surrogacy? So we had that conversation. What's that? And then, like, at first though, I saw my son walking around with this in his hand, and he's like squeezing it. I was like, why do you have sperm in your hand? And then you could see him just like stop squeezing, and he's just like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, that's what a sperm looks like, bro. Only it's microscopic. So that was fun. That was fun. But it was funny because I'm like getting ready for the show, and I'm like, I got the sperm in my hand, right? And I'm like playing with it, and then I broke its tail. It's already broken. God dang. Well, this one better not get to the egg. I'll tell you that one. Tell you that much because we've all seen those fellas. They mostly migrate towards the south. of the United States. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But am I? Am I? But somehow those goofy motherfucking sperms end up making it to the egg if you live in the South. Anyway, there goes my Southern listeners. I apologize. Anyway. You know what we need to do right now? Let's jump into the headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Some of you are going, yeah, I don't know how it got there, but it did. It made its way through. But anyway, the Poltergeist house. If you've ever seen the movie Poltergeist, it's a iconic scary movie. I watched it for the first time over the weekend. I'll get into that here in a second, but that house sold on Friday, this last Friday, for $1.28 million, which was right around $100,000 over what they were originally asking. So good for the sellers. Now, the new owners are planning on turning that house, the Poltergeist house, into an AirBNB, where they plan on replicating the set from Poltergeist. So when you walk in the door, you're going to feel like you're in the movie. I hope that they get to do something where they can have fun with like magnets or whatever with the dining room chairs or the kitchen table, whatever. You know how they move around and stuff like that. It would be neat if they did something like that. Don't you think? I don't think that movie is very scary unless you're a little kid. So going back to what I was saying, I watched it for the first time this weekend. On Saturday, my wife asked my daughter, hey, let's do a movie night. What do you want to watch? I want to watch a scary movie. Okay. Here's a list of them. What do you think? And she said Poltergeist. So my wife looks it up. There's a thing on Xfinity that says it breaks it down. Why is it rated the way it's rated? So my wife's like, yeah, I remember watching it. Wasn't that scary? So we watched it. And of course, my daughter had a hard time sleeping that night. I didn't think it's that scary, but I'm much older. And I understand, that the movie itself is fake. So I got kicked to the couch and I had to sleep on the couch that night, which is fine, whatever. But would you want to go into an Airbnb that was the Poltergeist house? I think it would be neat. I wouldn't do it since I have two small kids. I think that that's just asking for them to, have a bad night's sleep. And to be honest, I just want to get a good night's sleep. I think if you're going to do, because we were talking about that with the Prince Purple Rain house that they got going on in Minnesota. I think that would be neat. That would be a neat idea for an Airbnb, which they're doing. The Poltergeist house, I don't think it's that scary, but I think it would be interesting. So I wouldn't want to pay extra for that one. The Prince one, sure, as long as it's not too expensive. Like I said before, if it was like an Elvis one, something iconic, yes. If it was like, say, the Shrek Swamp, that would be kind of fun, especially for the younger kids. It would just be neat, right? But I don't know if there's too many houses out there that you would want to do Airbnb, like a movie theme. If you find or come up with an idea, let me know. DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on socials at DeHuffPodcast. I'm just trying to think what would be exciting. I'm not really into horror movies so that's why I'm not leaning towards the Poltergeist thing. I just don't. I think life can be scary enough. Why would I want to watch a scary movie? Don't get it. You people that are into scary movies and watching Dateline NBC, you're don't like it. Don't get you. There's something wrong with your brain. There is. So let me know. There's got to be some good ones out there that I'm just not thinking of. The only one that pops in my head is Shrek because it's like an iconic thing. And you could have some bizarre features in the house, some nice, decor in there. I think it would be pretty cool. So let me know. Real or fake? I posted this on YouTube and on my Twitter account. A TikToker from Oklahoma allegedly spotted a Bigfoot. And this video that he posted on his channel at @E_man Alfaro has almost 18 million views as I record this right now. I stole the 9-second video, slowed it down, added a freeze frame feature in the middle so you could, when you really see the alleged beast's face, that you can actually take a look at it. You can follow that. You can find that on, like I said, YouTube and Twitter at DeHuff Podcast. And at first you're going, yeah, I don't know, maybe, I guess. It's just it lounging back next to a tree. It's not walking. Looks like it has a stick with leaves on it, or maybe even flowers or something. And it looks like it's kind of putting it towards its nose or its mouth or something like that, right? And then when you look at the content creator, when you take a step back, he doesn't do Bigfoot hunting. He doesn't do anything like that. It's usually the typical nonsense of an influencer these days, where it's just, hey, I'm going to go to the supermarket, but I'm only going to spend $20. Let's go. It's stupid shit like that. I'm going to feed my family for $20 in a week. Yes, they'll starve, but it'll be great content. It's just, I'm not saying he did that, but it's just silliness, right? It doesn't fit with his normal content, but it is by far his most popular video. His videos do okay. For somebody that opens the door into his life, he's not doing that great as an influencer. Because the people that just go, they record everything, and it's like, they're way over the top on stuff. And be like, I'm gonna eat cereal, but this time I'm gonna do it with orange juice instead of milk or something like that. That's kind of the shit he does, and he doesn't. It kind of looks like my content's been struggling. What's something else I could do? And boom, he does this. Now, the reason I think that this could actually be that he staged it is, one, Bigfoot's not real. Okay? Bigfoot's fake. It's not a real thing. There is zero fucking evidence that says Bigfoot is real. Zero. No skeletal remains. No nothing. Okay? Just some shitty fucking footage. And to add on to that, you can buy an almost identical, it's hard to tell because it's not crystal clear. It's clear, but not crystal clear enough where you could see the details of the alleged beast's face. But you can buy what seems like identical costume. The Jack Link's jerky, their mascot is a Sasquatch, or whatever you want to call it, a Bigfoot. And when you pull up that costume, put it up next to the freeze frame that I took, it almost looks identical. It's really hard to tell because you have to, like, it gets zoomed in on the video's face and it gets a little bit blurry. But it's like, come on, guys. And the reason I bring that up too is there is still a large amount of people that believe Bigfoot is real, despite the fact that there is no goddamn evidence. No legitimate evidence. Anytime that there has been evidence processed, it has come back negative. As in, this is wolf hair, or this is, this is from a husky, or this is from whatever. It's never come back positive. Oh, I got a footprint. Oh, no, you're right. A footprint can't be fabricated, can it? No, that's impossible. You can buy shoes that have pretend, what is it? Like, not deer. It was some random animal that you can get that on the bottom of the shoes. Because it's such a fucking easy idea. If I gave a shit, I could go make one, put them on the bottom of some shitty shoes that I own, and then go walk around and be like, oh my God, guys, there's a Bigfoot here. Yeah, oh, I swear I saw it. Looks like there's some footprints. You can't fake that. Jeez, people. Yes, it's a nice idea. It'd be great. Good for him. He's going to get follows for that. He's going to probably get paid for that. I stole the video, posted it on my platforms. He won't get paid for that. I'll probably get in trouble for it, but whatever. We just need to stop believing every little, and it's not necessarily you. It's we as a big chunk. There's so many people that they're so desperate for something new in their lives. They're like, man, Bigfoot's real. It's impossible to fake that. Uh-huh. Remember the video we saw last year in Colorado in the middle of nowhere? There's this guy in a ghillie suit. It's really what it fucking looks like. And everybody, a good chunk of people are going, that's a fucking Bigfoot. Buh. Listen, I've talked to a good amount of my family hunts and fishes all the time. My father-in-law, Tim, is retired, and that's all he fucking does. And I asked him, I was just like, have you ever seen anything weird like that would make you go, maybe there is a Bigfoot? And he just laughed. He's like, no, no. And I felt stupid asking. I was like, I know. And guess what he said? We've never even found bones of a Bigfoot. Yeah, I know. I know. But it's one of those things where it's out there. The only way you could justify it, and this is really stretching the imagination, and I swear we'll get on to other things. The only way you could justify and say that maybe there is a Bigfoot is if somehow there was a tear in the fabric of time or some sort of portal allowing the existence of one universe and another universe to be able to mingle, right? So there's this tear, there's this portal, and wherever there are Bigfoot in this other plane of existence, they're able to, walk into ours, do their thing, take a shit over here because they don't want to dirty up their side of things. So they take a crap over on our plane, do their thing, whatever, walk in front of cameras, and then they go back through the portal, then do their business, do something else, right? That's, in theory, a weird, whacked out theory, aluminum hat theory. I guess there's that. They make an appearance out here, and then they go back over there to die. That's why there's never been an actual freaking Bigfoot body ever found. Ever. Well, maybe the government's hiding it, okay? I know some people that they think they seen one. Next thing you know, you got the men in black knocking on the door. Okay? Yeah. Will Smith like. No, stop. Stop it. Look, I hope one day that they find it. Then I could feel so stupid and ashamed because you were right all along. But guess what? Don't think that's gonna happen. Don't think it's gonna happen. Speaking of influencers that are annoying, a YouTuber named Jack Doherty totaled his $200,000 McLaren supercar. I'm going to play you some audio. Keep in mind, it was not just him in the car. Try to count to see how long it takes before he even asks if the guy sitting next to him was okay.
Help! 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 Break the window! Oh! Oh! Help! Oh, can you hold it? Oh, oh! No, my car, bro.
Vamos, baby. Vamos, sal.
Oh,
Que estás bien.
dude. My car. Holy no. Are you kidding me, bro? No. Michael, are you good? Oh,
Dude, it took him about 39 seconds to finally ask Michael, his camera guy, if he was okay. Prior to that, he was freaking out and asked about his car or mentioned his car twice. What a piece of shit. What a fucking piece of shit. This guy's like 20 years old. He was on Kick, which is a streaming platform. And he was live streaming him driving through the rain in Miami on Saturday morning. He has a phone in his hand on the live stream, and he's texting and driving in the shitty conditions, and then runs into a guardrail, destroying his vehicle. Oh, by the way, Michael had blood dripping down his face and had to get stitches. Ultimately, he's fine. If I'm Michael, I'm considering suing the fuck out of this guy. What a fucking piece of shit. Piece of shit. He's driving like a dipshit, texting and driving in bad conditions. How many times do you see that when you're driving around, whether it's snow or rain, and you see some dickhead McGee flying by you? And as much as I hate to see other people, fail, it does make me feel good when they spin out and they're by themselves and they smash into a wall. I've seen that before. I remember driving home from the tech center on I-25, and it was just around the stadium, and this guy whizzes by me, and then next thing I know, he just smashes into the median, those concrete barriers. Boom! And then he smashes, because that's on the left, and then he ends up just basically sharply turning to the right and ends up coming to a stop on the right shoulder. And his truck is just fucked. You deserve that when you drive like shit. This guy, it's documented that he's being a dumb fuck. He needs to be made an example of. He's lucky he didn't hurt anybody. I mean, he technically hurt his camera guy while he was participating in it. He was filming him driving, but he wasn't the one that was driving. So in a sense, they were being responsible that way. But the YouTuber Jack picked up his phone and started texting. That is, in my mind, grounds for that dude to, get arrested. I listen. I know some people would be like, no, come on, just kids being kids. Ah. No, man, that's fucked up. They're lucky that nobody died. And the streaming platform Kick has banned Jack Doherty from their platform. They're like, we don't think that that's an appropriate thing for our content. So good for them. I didn't even know they fucking existed. There was like 180 some thousand people watching him on Kick as he did this. Never even heard of that fucking platform. But apparently it's there. What a dipshit. What a dipshit. Oh my God. I hate people. Especially influencers. They drive me fucking nuts. I'm going to drive my $200,000 car that you guys paid for, and I'm going to drive it recklessly on a Miami highway as the rain falls down, and then I'm going to text and drive. And then my camera guy's going to be bloodied in the passenger seat, but I'm going to be more freaked out about my car, let's be honest, because I'm a cunt. I'm not playing the cunt drop, okay? I'm not. It's just too hard to get to. I need to just make it a quick link on my desktop. Hey, you know what's good? If you go to owlpipeid.com, go there right now. Trust me. They make decals that are industrial. Listen, Ray, I'm sorry. As soon as I start the commercial, I just totally screw it up. They make decals that are industrial quality and made for the trades at a lower price than you're going to find at the big online sticker retailers who are selling low quality stickers. Owl Pipe ID, they are legit and are in mechanical rooms throughout the city, helping plumbers identify what's flowing through the pipe. I had no idea that was a thing. And I'm like talking to the people over at Owl Pipe ID, and they're like, dude, these, like, if you're a plumber, you have these stickers on there, and they last. That's why this is a big deal. They make stickers that are made to last, whether it's for construction helmets, whether it's for the sides of vehicles, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they put them on pipes and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea. You could tell I'm a softie in the media. I didn't know that shit. There are also promotional stickers for breweries, cannabis shops, retailers, and schools. They also make laminated signage for equipment companies that will tear from rocks and the hazards of construction well before they fade. So if you need a signage for your reception area or shop, this is also something Owl Pipe ID can help you with. The Owl Pipe ID shop is based right here in Inglewood, Colorado. They're local and they're ready to mail your order anywhere via UPS. All their stickers are made on premium industrial vinyl with UV baked ink. That means they're protected from the sunlight for 7 freaking years. They're going to tear, and they're not easy to tear. Trust me. They're going to tear well before they fade. I have one on my car, DeHuff Uncensored, that I put on there like over a year ago. You can't even tell. You can't even tell how old it is. It looks like I just put it on there. It's legit, zero fading, which I've bought from other places, and they fade super quickly. Not Owl Pipe ID. They do an amazing job. Each transaction is customized personal experience because they want you to return for business, because that's how confident they are of their stuff. You're a client, not a customer. That means no online cart or catalog. That means a thorough image proofing process via email and a formal quote. I really like how they do it. It's very personable. It makes you feel special. And don't you want to feel special? They're real people. They're not AI. They're real people with a real focus on your satisfaction. If you're still not sure, Rhea and her crew, because Rhea's a stud, by the way. She's so freaking awesome. She's a perfectionist, and I love it. She's going to work with you and send you some free samples of your logo or artwork. She's so confident in her quality that she knows she just needs to get her product in your hands to help you with your decision. How cool is that? Go to owlpipeid.com right now. Owlpipeid.com right now. Click on the big red button that says request a quote. Tell Rhea what your project is. She's going to respond quickly. If you want to, you could just send her an email directly right now, sales@owlpipeid.com. Make sure you include in the email my exclusive code, DeHuff. You're going to get 30% off. 30. Yeah, 30. That's with your first order worth $5,000 or less. How freaking... you're welcome in advance, okay? When they told me 30%, I was like, are you freaking sure about that? That's a good chunk. Rhea said, this is what she said, and I quote, yes, your listeners will love our products because we love our product. We just need to get it in front of them. Totally. Listen, I love this. This is why this is a good partnership, because I trust them and you should trust them. You got to check them out. It's owlpipeid.com. Sorry, I went a little long with that one because they're brand new and they have so much going on, and it's really freaking neat. Again, check them out. Good people. Rhea and her crew are just phenomenal. Phenomenal. They took me through all the stuff, by the way, of how they do it, and I'm like, this is fun. You guys are smarter than me. This is a fantastic little shindig you got going on here. I saw this. I figured you guys will be interested. I'm not a huge fast food guy anymore. I was back in the day. But there's a lot of things that make me want to go to a particular fast food joint. One, how fast is their drive-through? Are they quick? Okay. Are they efficient? Obviously, you want to know if the food's good, but do they get your order right? Well, here's I'll give you two categories: fastest drive-through and most accurate drive-through. Fastest drive-through. We're going to start with number 10, the slowest. Chick-fil-A averages 479.4 seconds. That's a long-ass time, but it's totally worth it because Chick-fil-A is pretty dang good. Then it goes number 9, McDonald's, 375. I won't give you the points. How about that? McDonald's, 375. Raising Cane's, 370. Burger King, 339. I love Burger King. Oh, so good. Number 6, Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, 338 seconds. Number 5, Wendy's. Wendy's is good too. They're 301 seconds. Number 4, Dunkin', 287. Arby's is number 3 at 283. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Man, I never go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're at 259. And number 1, fastest drive-through, is Taco Bell, 255. Now, with Taco Bell being number 1 for the fastest, guess who's at the bottom for the most accurate? That's right. That's right. It's Taco Bell. They are 10th with an accuracy rating of only 85%. That pisses me off too. If you're going to take forever, I'm fine with it as long as I get the right order. But if you're going to go fast, that shit better be accurate. I'd rather take accuracy over speed. So tied for 8th is Wendy's and Dunkin' at 87%. I got to be honest, the Wendy's in my area, up in the Thornton, Colorado area, they're always accurate. Always accurate. Number 6 is tied Burger King and Raising Cane's at 88% of accuracy. Not bad. Number 5 is Arby's at 89%, tied with KFC. Carl's Jr. or Hardee's is 90%, and tied for first with 93%, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. Yeah, and here's the thing. There's they're doing this as for a national survey. Some of these, like the McDonald's around here, they always fuck up our orders. And that shit pisses me off. I had to my son learned a lesson the other day. I gave him the bag because we went through McDonald's. I was like, just check it, make sure it's right. And he's like, yeah, it's all there. Go home. It's missing 2 burgers and a French fry. And I'm like, you didn't check it, did you? And that happens all the time. Same with Taco Bell isn't that bad. I don't think like in my area for whatever reason they're pretty good. Pretty good, I want to say. And I'm usually pretty good about checking the shit before we drive off, or at least go into the parking lot, double check, and then leave. Because then I can at least go inside and be like, you guys forgot something. But that's not really shocking with the whole Taco Bell. They're notorious for that globally. I would say the thing that bugs me the most about Taco Bell is how they make it. When they over sauce it and they roll it and then the sauce is just exploding, or they don't roll it tight enough and then you start to eat it and then the bottom falls out. That's fucking annoying. It drives me nuts. It drives my kids nuts because it's such a simple thing. Now, that being said, I get it. It's because there's nothing holding the sauce in. Like when you get a lot of veggies in there, that kind of helps it so it doesn't leak as much. As somebody that used to work at Chipotle, they don't leak as much when you have rice that helps absorb some of the liquidy stuff. And that's the thing too, is Chipotle doesn't usually put the liquidy sauce in there. It's usually their pico de gallo, which is a chunky tomato sauce, and they also have all the other ones. But they do have their salsa verde, which is more liquidy. I never eat that, but that would make it more of a leaky burrito. Listen, there's a science in it, okay? Now you're gonna be like, ooh, I can't wait to see if my burrito leaks. Then you're gonna think of me. What are you doing, honey? Why you sitting there with a leaky burrito dripping down your arm? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking of the Huff squeezing his little sperm thing. Anyway, what? We need to talk. Of those, do you agree with those ratings? I can't say anything about KFC or Dunkin'. Those aren't my places I go when I go. But I like Chick-fil-A. They tend to be really good up here. They tend to be accurate, and I don't mind. Although the one by our house on 120th in Washington, they're pretty freaking fast too. They're very efficient. But even if they were slow, I'm fine with that because it's a good product. Popeyes is better. Popeyes is much better than Chick-fil-A, but I'm not going to turn down Chick-fil-A. Hey, you know what we need to do real quick? Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Seth. He said, what was a bigger spark for the Denver Broncos against the Raiders? Surtain's pick 6 or Nix yelling at Sean Payton? Before we get into the Sean Payton Nix little spat, the pick 6 was fucking amazing because the Broncos were down and they needed. I would have to say, looking at both of these, it's the pick 6. It was 100 yards. The Raiders were winning. I think it was like, wasn't it 10-3, something like that at that point, or maybe it was 10-0. Either way, they needed something big. By the way, Seth, you didn't even bring this up. Guess who predicted that Bo Nix would have 2 touchdown passes and the defense would have a touchdown? Oh, this guy right here, me. I'm pointing at my chest. It doesn't mean anything because I didn't go to bet online and bet on it. I should have. I'd be rich right now. Rich off of my $2 bet. Because you can't bet scared money. And when it comes past $2, it's all scared for me. I would say Surtain's 100-yard pick six was amazing. There was a flag on the play, for because Gardner Minshew got just freaking flattened, and they ended up picking up the flag, thankfully. But I think that it really energized the defense, because right after that, the defense was just hyped. And that added fuel to the fire in a good way. And the Broncos defense just started elevating after that. It was amazing. Now, in regards to the Bo Nix argument with Sean Payton on the sideline, I want to say it was going on for about roughly a minute, but the cameras only caught, like, say, 15 seconds worth of it. I have some audio of Sean Payton and Bo Nix talking about what was discussed. This is in the post-game presser.
It's part of the deal. Listen, last year, all of a sudden, it's just, there's still a little bit of Ferris Bueller in this player that we got to get rid of. All right, talking about Bo, and I love him to death. And so sometimes it's my love language. All right?
Can you say what it was about?
No.
Okay.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, well, he turned and looked at me and said, "I love you," and I turned and said, "I love you back."
I like what Bo said. He didn't really address it. It's like, dude, that's between us. And what happened is, right after that, I believe the next two drives that the Broncos had, they scored 2 touchdowns. So whatever works. Now, for more clarity on what Sean Payton meant when he said he has a little Ferris Bueller in him, here's Sean Payton explaining that.
Yeah, Ferris is kind of quirky, doing his own thing once in a while. I mean, I don't know.
It's understanding that makes it possible.
He's still got a little Ferris Bueller in him. I mean, he's got some. We
Mischievous.
not that, maybe a little bit, kind of subtly.
Bueller.
There are times where you send something in, and then I don't want it flipped, and then it gets flipped because so it's all good. He works his tail off, and I am that way, and so it just is what it is, and yeah, that's it.
There's a lot to unpack in that. I like the fact that Bo Nix has the stones to stand up for what he believes in to his head coach. We don't know exactly what they were complaining about or what they were arguing about. But the fact that Bo Nix, a young guy, is willing to stand up to his coach and say, whatever. I mean, they were heated. They were pissy. It was mostly Nix that we saw that was pissed off, venting his frustrations with something. And then you listen to Peyton saying, well, it's like, sometimes he flips things. He says, I call him the play to run it this particular way. Then we get out there and Bo will flip it because he believes that's what needs to happen. And then it's them going, don't flip it. There's a reason I called it that way. I look at this as a great situation. The Broncos offense wasn't spectacular yesterday, but I feel like it's slowly but surely getting better. There was times where the receiving core and Bo Nix were not on the same page. There was that pass from Nix to Troy Franklin, and it bounces off his hands. He should have caught that It was like a 63-yard touchdown, but he dropped it. And I think it was Stokely today. Brandon Stokely said something to the effect of, like, You can't keep doing that. Eventually, Troy Franklin, in to paraphrase Stokely, is going to lose you some games because he can't catch. He's a fourth rounder. He's not that great. Yes, they used to play together, but it's almost like he's trying to force it in. I don't agree with that, but Stokely's more of an expert when it comes to the receiving corps. Ultimately, the way I look at this game against the Raiders is the Broncos are improving. They're on a 3-game win streak. Now they take on the Chargers, another division rival. The Broncos are sitting at the number 2 spot in the AFC West. That's great. Now do it again. Beat the Chargers. I know that Chargers are kind of the forgotten team at times in the AFC West, but guess what? They're pretty freaking good. And you can't take them lightly. The Raiders were just a hot mess. We said that going into the game. We didn't really know what their fucking identity is. They changed out their quarterback. The quarterback that was doing okay. Not terrible, not great, but okay. And they're like, you know what? Nah. Let's get in this other guy who's going to do worse. It's the Raiders. They had a horrible offensive line, which we pointed out. And then their defense just was not good. And that was great news for the Broncos offense that needed to get things going. They had over 100 yards combined on the ground. That's great for the Broncos for their complementary football that everybody keeps going back to, where if you want a decent pass game, you got to have a good run game. It takes the pressure off the quarterback. It makes the defense go back on their heels because they don't know where the threat's coming from. And that's the other thing. Who is the biggest threat on the Broncos offense? That's a great freaking question because as of right now, they don't really have one. And that needs to change. That needs to change by guys stepping up. And they have the guys that can do it. It's just a matter of getting on the same page, working out the kinks, and then just going. The fact that they've won 3 in a row, that's what needs to be celebrated. I know it wasn't the perfect game, but it wasn't an awful game. And if you're a Broncos fan, enjoy it. Enjoy the win. You snapped the 8-game losing streak to the freaking Raiders. That's great news. Now, go beat the Chargers. Take one game at a time. Because if you keep playing solid football, you grind out, and you slowly get better and better and better. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to see more shots down the field. I'm sick and tired of these little dump-off passes to the running backs. What was it? Like 8 passes of Bo Nix threw like 19 throws, and I want to say half of them were to the running backs. That's not good. I don't like that. They need to be guys need to be getting open down the field. It's not necessarily Nix's fault on that. That's just like if there's nothing open, you got to dump it off. But the thing is like those usually amount to shit. So I'm happy at the end of the day. I'm happy that the Broncos won, and I'm happy that they beat the Raiders. Do it again. Keep getting better. Are these Broncos that we're looking at right now good enough to make the playoffs? Maybe. Are they good enough to win a playoff game? I don't think so yet. The defense is, but think about how dangerous this team could be, this Denver Broncos team could be if the offense starts being productive. Then you got some real threats there, some real threats to make it to the playoffs and do some damage in the playoffs. But the offense has to get their head on straight. And it's not just on Nix. That's the receiving core getting freaking open. The running game is starting to come alive. I need to see more. I need to see more because they have a lot of potential, but they ain't getting shit done enough. They're on a 3-game winning streak. I will cherish that because we know in Broncos country how quickly that can fade away. Go on to the next game against the Chargers and win. That's the way I'm going to look at it. So, whew, freaking Broncos. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to Owl Pipe ID. Go to owlpipeid.com. Make sure you use that promo code DeHuff in the email to get 30% off. Oh my God, 30% off. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I was just like trying to think of something clever to say. I was like, what could you do with 30% off? Well, you go to owlpipeid.com, use that promo code DeHuff, and I don't know. You'll find out. You'll find out. Also, big thanks to Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. It's DeHuff Uncensored. You guys are amazing. Have a fantastic day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.